What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are on the outskirts of northern Manchester where we have a lot of wind turbines, and I've shot some other personal work out here before with a runner. We shot some portraits and some action shots out here, but I've also wanted to get out and shoot some landscapes. So if you follow me on Instagram or anything, you'll know that Helen and I are eagerly waiting for a little baby to arrive. The baby is a few days overdue at the moment, so hopefully by the time you watch this we will be blessed with a little baby. I'm getting stared out by some other little sheep babies there. I've seen a little bit online about this new film from Harman, which is a UK-based company who are producing new film, and I've also been shooting a little bit more recently, just sort of my day-to-day documenting life and everything on this Minolta Dynax 5, and this is actually the first camera that I ever really took photos with. 20 years ago, maybe a little bit more, I tore my ACL on my BMX and I still wanted to get out on the bike and shoot. I picked up the camera as an excuse to get out on the bike and still hang out with friends and take pictures of them. It's been producing images that I really love, and with the Harman film, I'd seen a video from Kyle McDougall where he shot some stuff in the evening. It had this beautiful purple tones to it at sunset. So I have one roll already in the camera and we're good to go. I'm going to shoot some landscapes and just get a little walk in. Maybe a little baby will arrive while we're out and about. I'll do a little update on life and everything else later in the video if you follow me on Instagram, or if you're part of the newsletter, which I will link below, or the Instagram channel. You'll know that over the last 6 months, but actually over the last few years, I've been continually developing my photography practice, and recently I feel like I've really unlocked a lot of thoughts and theories and new styles in which I plan on moving forward with in photography, and I'd love to share that with you. So I'll sit down later in the video and share that with you, but for now we're going to take a little walk and shoot some landscapes. Alright, what's up everyone? There's a baby in there. It's been about 11 days since I filmed the first part of the video. Obviously, we've got a new arrival, which is great. She's down for a nap, which is rare so far. Yeah, I did try and record this part of the video already, but sleep has been at a premium, and I was just watching it back trying to edit it, and I just ramble on. So I'm here to be concise, and I'm a little more awake this morning, so let's try and make this happen. I'm really pleased with how the images turned out. One thing that I was a little bit apprehensive about making a YouTube video trying to go and photograph some wind turbines in a field. First of all, it's not massively typically my style, and secondly, how do you kind of make that look different, interesting, and just something nice to look at? Let me just check my exposure here. One thing that I didn't really like about the film was the green in the shadows. I think a lot of the shadows and the mid-tones in a lot of the images, especially this, as the sun is setting, it feels really green, like too green. Now you can kind of take that out in post or however you develop your images, but it feels a little bit counterintuitive going against what the film is trying to do, and some people might really like this look. For me, I don't like to force colours into the shadows or highlights too much that don't feel natural. Maybe the greens are a bit more pronounced because we were shooting landscape, and we were in amongst a lot of greenery, but I think this is a sort of a typical characteristic of the film. So that might be one downside to the film that I'm not so keen on. But on the plus side, I really like how it treats the highlights and how it was treating the sky during sunset. The really nice purple, bluey hue that you get to the sky. That sort of soft pastel colours is something that sort of runs through my whole portfolio, and something that I really enjoy about this film. And another thing that I really liked was the grain. So on this particular roll, and actually what I've been doing a lot of my personal work recently, is just shooting aperture priority mode, maybe half a stop under. For some of the more direct sunlight ones, I shot 2 or 3 stops under, I'll get to that. But yeah, half a stop under, aperture priority mode, and trying to go with my instinct and my gut a bit more and worry less about the technical side of things and shooting more how I feel. And that could be a reason why the grain on this film is so pronounced, because it's shot a little bit under. In some of the images where I shot, particularly some of the images where I shot direct into the sun, you get this really lovely gradient of grain running through that transition, which I just really enjoyed. And I guess that brings me on to just how I've been shooting recently. So I've been working a lot recently, or not recently, maybe over the last 5 years, on developing a sort of personal style, and in that sense, not just a visual style, but a style that sort of comes from within, that carries meaning and is more of a reflection of myself and who I am and what I want to see in the world. I could do a whole 20-minute YouTube video on that, and if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, definitely let me know in the comments. But basically over the last few years, it's been a lot of reflection and sort of figuring out what I want to see in the world and what I want my photography body of work over time to look like. I think when you first get into photography, you can be chasing commissions, and your portfolio kind of falls into that trap of looking very commercial, and that, in my opinion, is how you end up with a lot of photographers who look the same. There's a lot of sports photographers, sports and lifestyle photographers who have very similar work, and that's not sort of a mark on them. I am one of them, but it's something that I'm trying to kind of break free of, and I'm trying to find like a personal stamp, if you will, that I can put onto all my images, regardless of whether it is pictures of a wind turbine or pictures of a elite athlete doing 100 meters. I think if you look at all of the sort of great or prolific photographers through time and currently, that is something that they've all worked on and developed on. It's not just pictures for picture's sake. And having that clarity of mind and that personal style and that sort of sense of who you are, I think allows you to photograph across all genres and for it to still be undoubtedly yours. Hopefully that kind of makes sense and where I'm at right now. With that, I've been shooting a lot more automatic settings, shooting on film, just letting my feeling and eye guide me. Hopefully that all makes sense. I hope you guys enjoyed the images. I've played around with a lot of these, shooting directly into the sunlight. There was one particular image where I just shot some silhouettes and I could hear like a motorbike coming in the distance. So I was already set to like 2 or 3 stops under, but with the dust that was kicking up from the tires and shooting directly into the sunlight, it just all aligned perfectly, and I love that image of the guy on the motorbike. It's very silhouette, you can just about tell he's on a motorbike, but it feels a lot more powerful than something I would shoot if I had thought too much about it and I kind of referred to my old ways of like, okay, how can I make this look professional and commercial and clean? And it's a bit more calling on just the wonder and mystery and maybe the softness that I now have as I approach my work. So that's another thing that I really love about this film. When you shoot 1 or 2 stops or 3 stops under in the evening as the sun sets, you get this insane warm orange glow with the silhouettes of the guy on the bike and even of the plant in the foreground. I think it just brings that extra dimension to the images of something that I would normally shoot, and it would look kind of mundane almost, which gets me really excited about shooting more portraiture, sports work, and in this sort of style. And I can already see just from this roll of film and work that I've done over the last few months how that's going to develop into a really beautiful, well-rounded portfolio that has a real true depth to it, which I can carry on for years to come. And I will wrap it up there as this little one. I can hear her starting to, maybe she's just stirring, maybe she's just adjusting herself, but we'll see. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know your thoughts on the film, and let me know your thoughts on my little ramble here at the end about my approach to photography, and if that kind of resonates with you. I know there's a lot of other photographers I've spoke to who have spoke of this emptiness because of the endless consumption of images, and maybe how that's devaluing the pictures that we create. Let me know your thoughts. I've started an Instagram channel where I talk about all this sort of stuff, so I'll link it on the screen or in the description below, so make sure to go and join that. And I send out a weekly mailer every Sunday, touch on all these sort of things and try and sort of build a community, share the community's work amongst each other, get discussions going. I hope you can join us there, and I hope you can join us for the next video. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.